If you are new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Well, Holly, let's go to the IB Organics 3-in-1 Plant Guard hotline and bring in our next guest.
Sure. Hunger Task Force is Milwaukee's free and local food bank and Wisconsin's leading anti-hunger organization. They were founded in 1974 by a group of parental advocates who were fighting for a school breakfast program through Milwaukee public school system. Hunger Task Force provides a safety net of emergency food to a network of local food pantries and meal programs. Now, Amy Wallner has started as a farm volunteer coordinator at the farm in March of 2014. Since February of the following year, she has a lead role in designing and implementing the Hunger Task Force Farm Annual Crop Plan. And she's responsible for farm operation improvements, visioning for the farm's multi-year sustainability plan, and equipment upgrades. Welcome to the program, Amy.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I know you're at a farmer's market to enlighten us about this program, this organization that maybe some of our listeners have no idea what it really is. They just see the sign as they go down the interstate.
Sure. Well, like you mentioned in your intro, Hunger Task Force is Milwaukee's free and local food bank. We've been operating as a food bank for a number of years. So as a food bank, we're providing non-perishable food to a number of sites all year round. And then in 2012, we added the farm to our wheelhouse of what we're doing and how we're obtaining food.
Well, let's talk about the addition to the farm. Now, this farm is in Franklin. Some people probably didn't know that this existed. Tell us more about the farm, what goes on, what is grown there, and how many acres. This is not just a little backyard plot in an urban setting. You've got a substantial farm that you're growing as much produce on it as possible.
Correct. So the entire property is 208 acres. It's actually owned by Milwaukee County, and Hunger Task Force leases the property from Milwaukee County. Of the 200 acres, about 100 of that is tillable farmland. The other 100 is in natural areas, which we're also managing. Of the 100 tillable acres, we have about 60 that we do in annual fruits and vegetables. And then the remaining 35 to 40 acres we have in cover crop to try to continuously build the soil for future vegetable crops. As far as what we grow a wide variety of things, including broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, beans, sweet corn, tomatoes, peppers, lettuce, collard greens, mustard greens, watermelon, cantaloupe. So we're trying to grow a diversity of things so that our harvest is a diverse mix of things. And then we also have 12 acres of apple and pear orchards of various ages that we're probably going to start harvesting in the next couple of weeks. So that's kind of just a brief lay of the land. The farm has 9 full-time staff, and our main labor force is made up of about 5,000 community volunteers from the greater Milwaukee area. Another big part of what the farm does is we have a nutrition education program. Hunger Task Force has a dietitian on staff that works with Milwaukee public school students in the classroom during the school year, helping kids learn about healthy eating and develop healthy eating skills and healthy habits for life. And then during the spring, summer, and fall, those same students come out to the farm and have field trips at the farm where they take care of a garden. They get to know some of the natural areas of the farm, and then they also do cooking demonstrations they prepare snacks and meals in our cooking demonstration kitchen.
So with the farm here, one, who is eligible to receive this food from the Hunger Task Force? And two, the food that is harvested from the farm, where does that go and get distributed compared to what some of us may be aware of, donate canned goods to the local to Hunger Task Force, and they'll distribute it among those who are in need? How do you balance the non-perishables with the perishable items that you're harvesting from the farm?
That's a great question. So we do have our own fleet of trucks. Since we were first and foremost a food bank, we have this really robust infrastructure to be able to do our own direct distribution. So all farm fresh produce leaves the farm within 24 to 48 hours of harvest. So it's going to be as fresh as you can find, a lot of times much more fresh than what you would find at a grocery store. So during the growing season, our distribution of fresh produce rolls right into that normal distribution of non-perishable items. So the truck will come to the farm early in the morning, and then it'll go back to the warehouse, and all the produce will be distributed amongst all the trucks that are going out for delivery that day. So we do our best to try to get it out as quickly as possible. So Hunger Task Force supports a network of, last year, actually in 2017, there was over 341 service points. That includes food pantries, summer meals programs, soup kitchens and shelters, and then sites that serve low-income seniors. So we have right now around 50 food pantries that are in our network, and they receive regular deliveries of non-perishable as well as fresh produce. And then the senior sites also receive regular deliveries of fresh produce from the farm. Those sites become a part of our network. A lot of them have been with us for a long time. Sometimes the number fluctuates a little bit because we do ask sites to make sure that they're upholding some of our standards and serving people with dignity, making sure that we have that they're open for a certain number of hours a week. So we're always striving to have the best access for folks that we can.
Great. Now, how many pounds of food would you say is given away each year?
The farm grows right around 500,000 pounds of fresh produce each year, and all of that is delivered completely free of charge. As a whole, I just looked at last month's stats, were just under 6 million pounds of food distributed by Hunger Task Force as of July of this year.
That's amazing. With all the networks, the food banks in your network, what if there is a food bank that wants to get into your network? Do they just contact the main office and say, hey, here's who I am, here's my credentials, can we talk about what we can do to work something out? Or how does a new a group get into that distribution cycle?
Yeah, exactly what you mentioned would be a great first step, is getting a hold of Hunger Task Force so that we can see what the site's currently offering and how we can help. Because we do provide our sites with other things beyond just food. We provide them with IT equipment. If they need things like coolers or freezers, we can help them obtain some of those things. We provide training if they have staff or volunteers that need some training. And we can also help them access grant funding to help run their programs. So by all means, I would encourage anybody in that position to reach out, and we'll see what we can do to help.
So if people don't want to possibly donate food, they can donate their time, right? The farm, at the facility, sorting and processing what has come in donations. Correct.
So Hunger Task Force as a whole has about 55 staff, but we are greatly assisted by almost 12,000 community volunteers during the calendar year. So at the farm, we have volunteer opportunities that start in May and go through October, and we're there 6 days a week. And we have 2 shifts a day that volunteers can help out with. And volunteers do just about everything from seeding and planting to weeding and crop maintenance. And then this time of year, a lot of our focus is on harvest. And like you mentioned, we also have indoor volunteer opportunities across agencies to help us sort through all the food that comes in through donations, and also prepare food for distribution. So helping us package it and get it ready to go on a truck. So there's lots of ways people can get involved. And we also have a number of signature programs that happen throughout the year. For example, this weekend is Irish Fest down at the festival grounds. And so we have volunteers that are helping us collect donated food as people are entering the fest grounds. There's you get a couple bucks off here, or you can get in free if you donate canned goods at the entrance. So that's just one of many ways that volunteers can get involved, and people can share their time rather than their money.
So the question I have is all the food that you're donating to the food banks locally based, or if Hunger Task Force sees that there is a shortage of a certain type of vegetable and or canned good, do you source that from outside the area, or do you put out an alert to say, hey, can we get donations of this particular item in order to fill our quota, I guess would be a word, for these food banks for people who need it?
Sure. So we do have, we keep a close eye on our inventory of non-perishable items, and we do our best to project what our fresh produce supply is. Of course, weather can throw off some of those projections, but we do targeted asks. So a good example is in the early part of the year, we always have a food drive that's all over the city where we're asking for peanut butter, because it's a good source of protein. It's shelf stable. You can eat it even if all you have is a spoon. So we do targeted drives like that, and we can forecast if we're going to run short of something, and we can ask for that item specifically. A big initiative that we've started in the last couple of years is the Hunger Task Force My Plate, which is trying to change the way that we think about donating food so that we're receiving healthy food donations. As part of our role of that program, the educational piece has been to focus on one food item a month that we ask people that want to host a food drive to focus on, so that we can continue the education of healthy, making sure you're making the healthiest donation possible when you're donating to a drive or directly to the food bank.
Right, because you're not looking for bags of potato chips or other junk food, let's say, because your goal is to provide the healthiest food possible to people who need it.
Right, and we want to provide things that people can build a meal with, and something more than a snack or something to temporarily fill an empty stomach.
Fantastic. Now, obviously, people can donate money instead of food or their time as well?
Correct. And the best way to go about doing either one of those things is to visit our website, hungertaskforce.org, and there's links to how to sign up and register to be a volunteer, to learn more about the volunteer activities that exist, and then there are direct links on how to give money as well.
And then, since it is an organization, those donations of money would be a tax-deductible thing, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And it will stay locally, because Hunger Task Force is a locally operated organization. We're an independent organization, so we're really true to our roots of serving Milwaukee to our best ability.
Yeah, Milwaukee is unique to have the Hunger Task Force. Is there other cities that have like a similar type of program, or is this like a 1 in a million type of organization that we're fortunate enough to have here in Milwaukee?
The farm there are a few things that make Hunger Task Force very unique. One is that we're free. Most food banks are charging for some portion of their services. That's how they cover their operating expenses. But we do all of our distribution, and all the food is given for free. That makes us pretty unique. There are not many food banks that do that. And then the size and scale of our farm and our produce production is also extremely unique. There are not many food banks out there that run a farm. There are quite a few that have community gardens, or have maybe a network of community gardeners that support them and provide donations of fresh produce. But I don't know of any that are running a 200-acre farm like the Hunger Task Force is. So Milwaukee is very unique that we have this organization in our own community.
That's fantastic. Now, can people, do they have to go to a particular food bank, or can they just come directly to the Hunger Task Force location to pick up food?
The best thing somebody can do is to call 211. It's a hotline that can help them. The person who answers the phone will find the service site that's closest to them. So that way they don't have to travel way across town in a time of need. So that's the best thing somebody can do, is dial 211 to get the closest location to where they are.
Well, Amy, we greatly appreciate it. For people to find out more information about the donation of food, time, finances, or to find a location, what is the website again in which we can all venture over to?
It's hungertaskforce.org.
Well, Amy, thank you so much for enlightening us and our listeners. Some may have never even known it existed, the largeness of what Hunger Task Force is in the city of Milwaukee.
You're welcome. I hope to see some of those faces at the farm soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for checking out the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show. For more, go to the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com for full-length in-studio video and podcast replay of Season 1. Season 2 underway and added weekly. Tweet us at TWVG Show or hashtag TWVG to be part of the program.